Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining us today. We wanted yesterday was not just Radhasmi, but it was also the appearance day of Vishaka Devi. So today we wanted to have a quick look at her characteristics and her glories. So she is one of the 8 principal gopis, and of which Lalita we discussed a few days ago. Vishaka, of course, Champakalata, Chitra Manjari, Chintra Devi, Tunga Vidya, Indulekha, Ganga Devi, Sudevi. So these are the main 8 gopis. And details about the gopis are given by Rupa Goswami in his Sri Radha Krishna Ganodesh Dipika, and mentions many details, names, dresses, natures, activities. So these gopis were not ordinary personalities. They're actually on the same level as Krishna. They're his eternal associates. And that's confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. There are expansions of the pleasure potency of Krishna. And as his pleasure, as his potency, they're non-different from him. They're the same. So here we have Radha Madhav, then Lalita on the side of Krishna, and on the side of Radha is Vishaka. And then we have Indulekha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, and then got Champaklata, Chitra, and Tunga Vidya. So this is the Astasakhi in Mayapur, Radha Madhav, and Astasakhis. Beautiful. So she is the second of the Astasakhis, born at exactly the same moment as Sri Radha. So she is exactly the same age as Sri Radha, being eternally 14 years, 2 months, and 15 days. Her bodily complexion is like lightning and is similar to Krishna's. And sometimes when Radharani is in mana, anger, then because of this anurag mood, her color appears to be that of Radharani's. So she's got a similar color to Lord Krishna. Her dress shines like clusters of stars. Vishaka's father is Pavan. Mother is the daughter of the sister of Jatila. And Sudakshini. Who's that name? Oh, yeah, Sudakshini. And her husband is Vahika Gopa. Vishaka is expert in humorous dealings with the divine pair. Her advice is hard to overrule, and she can speak joking words to Krishna like no other. She knows the hearts of the divine couple, and although she is more exalted than the younger gopis, the gopi messengers led by Binda Devi, so like the Manjaris as well, she also takes up the work of carrying messages between Radha and Krishna. Talkative Vishaka is expert at joking with Govinda, and she is perfect counselor of the divine couple. Being expert at all aspects of amorous diplomacy, she knows all the arts of how to conciliate an angered lover, how to bribe him, how to quarrel with him. She's very good at making leaf tilaks, garlands, crowns, magic tricks, puppet dances, etc., collecting paraphernalia for Surya Puja, speaking different languages. Her service is dressing and ornamenting, and her kunj is named Vishaka Andada. Vishaka Andada. That can't be right. Must be, I suppose. Her yutta, her associates consist of Maliti, Madhavi, Chandralekha, Jari, Harini, Chapala, Surabhi, Subhanana, and other Sakhis. Vishaka's favorite instrument is the Madanga, and her favorite tune is the Rag Sarang. Her mood is called Swadina Bhadrak, which is the mood of a heroine who controls her beloved in a soft and gentle way. Unlike Lalita, Now, if we remember, Lalita's mood is fiery. Vishaka has a different way of dealing with Sri Madhav when he acts in a contrary way. Her temperament is Adik Madhya, moderately exalted. And Lalita's was aggressive. Vishaka is very intelligent. When Krishna does pastimes, she has pictures of all these activities. She has a ring that can take pictures and record like a camera. So nowadays, of course, they have phones, iPhones and whatever, phones and watches, which can take pictures. But in those days, in the spiritual world, they have rings which take pictures. In her ring, she can see reflections of all of Krishna's activities. It's like a television as well. This is like a camera connected to a satellite that takes pictures of wherever Krishna is. It takes picture of him while he's asleep, wanders in the forest, goes to the Kamyavan or any other place. She can see where Krishna is with this ring. It's a very powerful ring, huh? Vishaka arranges different dramas. She will make a drama of what Krishna did when he woke that morning. How he played and met with Yashoda. The Manjaris quickly learn and they dress as Krishna, steal butter and do naughty activities. They reenact how sometimes Yashoda Mata offers Krishna some butter, but he pushes her away. Why does he do this? He wants the butter that is brought by Radharani. He pretends that the butter his mother gives is not tasty, and he makes a strange face. The Manjaris can imitate Krishna's expressions and how he associates with Yashoda, and they reenact these pastimes. Krishna watches these reenactments with Srimati Radharani. Vishaka is very learned in many branches of knowledge, just like her scholarly father. She's expert at making different arrangements for the divine couple to meet and experience different mellows of love. She skillfully paints flowers and leaf designs on the divine forms of Srimati Radharani and Sri Madhav and makes different kinds of crowns for them out of flower garlands. She renders the special service of Vastra Lankara, or arranging for the clothing and ornaments of the divine couple. Along with personally embroidering Shri Radha Madhav's cloth, Vishaka Devi also supervises the Sakhis and their assistants who produce and care for their lordships' clothing. So these gopis have a very important role. They organize all of the arrangements for Radha and Krishna. She also directs the maidservants of Brinda Devi, who maintains the flowers, vines, creepers, and trees of Vrindavan. Vishaka's maidservant is Vilas Manjari. Can't remember who Vilas Manjari is in Golila. Vishaka Devi explains the glories and specialities of Srimati Radharani. Sometimes she explains how Krishna uses his Leela Kamala, the pastimes lotus or a garland. In the afternoon, Vishaka draws a picture of Krishna and shows it to Radharani. Like now, you can see pictures on the internet with a laptop. You can also speak with your friends from different parts of the world. All this comes originally from the spiritual world. There, Lalita or Vishaka will draw a picture of Krishna and show it to Radharani, and then it can become real. Krishna can come out of the picture and be before Radharani. You can't do this with a computer, but in the spiritual world, they have this power. They can manifest whatever they have spoken about. Why? Name and form are non-different. So this is the omniscience of the Supreme Lord. He can be anywhere, everywhere. So, very powerful. Whatever she speaks is pleasing to everyone. All the Sakhis and Manjaris, and also those in Krishna's party, are delighted by her talks. She has equal love for both Radharani and Krishna. When Krishna suffers in separation from Radharani, or Radharani suffers in separation from Krishna, she cannot tolerate this, and she is ready to give up her life if it would help arrange their meeting. Although it appears that Srimati Vishaka comes second to Lalita Devi, she's actually Srimati Radharani's dearmost friend. Sri Radhika Tava Charita, Gunanu Nurupan. Her qualities and characteristics are very similar to Srimati Radharani's. They are so similar that they seem almost like twins, but slightly different colors. Vishaka, the other form, is Yamuna Devi. That's why Yamuna is blackish. Whenever Sri Madhav sees Vishaka, he immediately thinks of Sri Radha. Whenever Sri Radha sees Shyam, dark blue waters of Yamuna, she immediately thinks of Madhav. Vishaka appeared in Gaura Leela as Sri Ramananda Ray. And Lalita was, anybody remember who was Lalita Devi? Not an easy question. Remember?
I think. One of the Panch Tattvas.
No, it wasn't the one, but it was like the secretary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Secretary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, always with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He used to decide who would see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and who would.
Damodar Pandit.
Close. First name is, starts with S. Yeah, Swarup Damodar. Yeah, so Swarup Damodar. So he was Lalita. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he told Mahaprabhu that no one's knowledge can compare to Ramananda Ray in the field of the divine couples, Madhurya Ras, or sweet conjugal affairs. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually met him in South Bharat, if devotees recall. And he told him, my dear Ramananda, both you and I are madmen. And therefore we meet immediately on an equal level, intimately on a equal level. Thank you. So this is from Shri Shri Radha Krishna Ganodesh Dipika by Rupa Goswami and Shri Gaura Ganodesh Dipika by Kavi Kannapur. So it's worth, they had a fantastic conversation on, I think it was the Kaveri, on the banks of the river Kaveri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Ray. And it's just worth recollecting this conversation again and again because it gives so much nectar. So we got time here. So Gauranga, he told Ramananda Ray, tell me a verse from the scriptures concerning the ultimate goal of life. So Ramananda Ray said, Lord Vishnu is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varnashram. So Varnashram is the method by which society is organized in order to serve the Lord. And Ramananda Ray is saying, this is the highest, ultimate goal of life, to live within the Varnashram. And he quotes a verse. Oh, you want to say?
Thapum vedvijashresta varnashram vibhagashaha svanutishtasya dharmasya samside haritoshanam. Or best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation, according to caste, divisions, and orders of life, is to please the personality of Godhead.
Okay, this is a very nice verse from first canto, second chapter. But the Lord replies, this is external. Tell me something else. So being in Varnashram doesn't necessarily give you the internal mood to serve the Lord. Externally, yes, you're engaged, but internally you may have some other mood. So then Ramananda Roy continues, whatever you do, so he's quoting from the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, whatever you give in charity, whatever austerities you perform, all the results of such activities should be offered to Krishna. Anybody remember this verse by heart? I'm sure Riansh.
What, Prabhuji?
You remember this verse, 927? Do you remember it by heart? Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice. This one here? Have you learned this one?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go for it.
Yet karosi yadasnasi, yet juhosi tadasi, yet tapasvasi kaunteya tat kuruswama darpanam.
Very good. And you can read the English?
Okay, Prabhuji. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
Nice verse. Again, he's quoted a beautiful verse to Krishna, to Gauranga. But what does Gauranga say? This is also external, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Please tell me more. So here he quotes another verse from the Bhagavad Gita. Anybody know this one? 1866, very famous. Just give up all kinds of religious and occupational duties. If you come to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and take shelter, I will give you protection from all life's sinful reactions. Do not worry.
What, Prabhuji?
Sarva mam parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja.
Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyam samasi.
Very good. Yeah. Thank you, Karuna. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good.
I remembered only half of it.
Oh, I thought you were giving Rian's a chance. Well done. Well done. That's good. That's good. Classic verse. And of course, this is where the Bhagavad Gita ends. So what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Again, this is external. Go ahead, say something more. So you can see Bhagavad Gita, why it's considered the ABC of spiritual life. It's just the beginner's guide. Ramananda Ray continued. One who is transcendently situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes joyful. And again, he gives another verse from the Bhagavad Gita. Anybody know this one? Actually, I know it, but I won't do it. Go on.
Brahmano hi pratistatam amratasvasya yasya ja sasvatasya ja dharmasya sukhasya kantikasya ja. And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, eternal, and is a constitutional position of ultimate happiness.
So this is really important verse, actually, because Krishna explains that he, the Supreme Lord, is the basis of the impersonal Brahman. A lot of people think that the Brahman is the ultimate form of ultimate aspect of God. But here Krishna is saying, no, I'm the basis of the Brahman. So what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? As usual, he doesn't accept it, considers it to be external. Then Ramananda Ray says, pure devotional service without any touch of speculative knowledge or impersonal conception is the essence of perfection, hearing truths from the self-realized soul. This is a very famous verse from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. And Guru Maharaj used to quote this verse very often.
Savai pumsham paro dharmo yato bhakti adoksaje ahetuki apratihata yayatma supashit tati. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which man can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self.
Interesting. So this is getting closer. That is all right, Mahaprabhu says. But still, if you know more on the subject, speak. Ramananda Ray continued. Pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be had even by pious activities in hundreds and thousands of lives. It can be attained only by paying one price, intense greed, to obtain it. If it is available somewhere, one must purchase it without delay. This is another classic verse. From the Skanda Purana. Okay.
Madhyamanguli mule cha date kamalam achyutaha dhyate chita tvirafanam ploba nayati shobanam. At the bottom of the middle toe of that same foot, Lord Achyuta has a lotus flower, which increases the greed for him in the minds of the bee-like devotees who meditate on his feet.
Okay, what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Yes, that's okay. But if there's more, please tell me. By eternally serving as servant, you constantly, one is freed from all material desires and is completely pacified. When shall I engage as your permanent, eternal servant and always feel joyful to have such a perfect master? This is by Yamunacharya. Hearing this, Lord again requests him, go one more step forward. Ramananda Ray says, loving service to Krishna rendered in friendship is the highest perfection. The Lord said, this statement is very good, but please proceed even further. Ramananda Ray continued, O Brahman, what pious activities did Nanda Maharaj perform by which he received the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna as his son? And what pious activities did Mother Yashoda perform that made this absolute supreme truth Krishna call her mother and suck her breasts? The Lord said, your statements are certainly getting better and better, one after the other. But surpassing all of them is another transcendental mellow. So then Ramananda Ray says, when Lord Krishna was dancing with the gopis in the Ras dance, Ras Leela, the gopis were embraced around the neck by the Lord's arms. This transcendental favor was never bestowed upon the goddess of fortune or other consorts in the spiritual world. That love which has the highest taste is the gradual succession of desires manifest itself in the form of conjugal love. So then, therefore, qualities found in Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras are all manifested in conjugal love, Madhuryaras. Lord Krishna cannot proportionately reciprocate devotional service in the Madhuryaras. Therefore, he always remains a debtor to such devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is the limit of perfection. But please be merciful to me and speak more. So among the loving affairs of the gopis, Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna is topmost. Even Lord Krishna cannot reach the limit of her transcendental qualities. Finding herself treated equally. So this is in the Srimad Bhagavatam with all the other gopis, or maybe not actually. Srimati Radharani displayed her tricky behavior and left the circle of the Ras dance. The Ras dance does not shine in the heart of Krishna without Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he also gave up the circle of the Ras dance and went to search for her. Now I have come to understand the sublime goal of life and process of achieving it. This is Mahaprabhu. But I think there is something more. My mind is desiring to have it. Lord Krishna's sweetness is so attractive, it steals away his own mind. Thus, he even wants to embrace himself. Upon seeing his own reflection in the bejeweled pillar of his Dwarka palace, Krishna desired to embrace it, saying, alas, I've never seen such a person before. Who is he? Just by seeing him, I become eager to embrace him. Exactly right, Srimati Radharani. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then replied, now I have come to understand the truth of the loving affair between Radha and Krishna. Nonetheless, I still want to hear how both of them gloriously enjoy such love. Day and night, Lord Sri Krishna enjoys the company of Srimati Radharani in the bushes of Vrindavan. Thus his pre-youthful age is fulfilled through his affairs with Srimati Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, that is all right, but please continue. Saying this, Ramananda Ray began to sing a song he had composed about Prema Vilas vivata. But Mahaprabhu, out of ecstasy of love of Godhead, immediately covered Ramananda Ray's mouth with his own hand. Without the help of the gopis, one cannot enter into these pastimes. There is no other procedure for understanding. So this was the conversation that took place between the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Gauranga, and his sweet devotee Ramananda Ray, none other than Vishaka Devi. Vishaka Devi ki jai, Ramananda Ray ki jai. So this is the verse that is describing exactly what we just said at the end. So wanted to stop there. Are there any questions or any comments, please? Otherwise, we can go to the Nishinga Kavach. Yeah, we got time. We can do a bhajan if you like. Karuna or Radharani, we got a bit of time.
I don't know which one because Radha Kavach will be quite long.
Yeah.
And then I have another one which is long again. Shri Radhika Ashtorasta Nam Stotram. So this is long again.
Yeah.
So maybe we leave these two for.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They probably
then we
class
have
on.
Radha Krishna Pranamur.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, but I don't have it on screen. Maybe I can get it. Can I just sing it? We have it in the song.
Yeah, no, just sing it. That's nice. It's good.
Okay.
You mean you know it? Oh, I see. Yes, got it. Understood. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Shrimati Radharani ki jai, Shri Radha Shyam ki jai. Radha Krishna Pranamo, Jugal Kishore. Radha Krishna Pranamo, Jugal Kishore. Jivane Mara Gati Aro Nahi Mo. Jivane Mara Gati Aro Nahi Mo. Radha Krishna Pranamo, Jugal Kishore. Kalindira Kule Kari Kadambira Vada Ratana Medira Gosha Boduja. Radha Krishna Pranamo, Jugal Kishore. Shama Gauri Ange Kivo Chandanira Gandha Chamara Dulabo Kabe Heri Mukha Chandra. Radha Krishna Pranamo, Jugal Kishore. Gati Amala Kirmala Nibodhu Ardhani Adhare Tuliya Nimo Karpu Puratamule Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugal Kishore Lalita Vishakha Jata Sakhi Vrinda Agyaya Kori Motiva Charanaravinda Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugal Kishore Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasera Seva Vilasha Pure Narotamada Seva Vilasha Pure Narotamada Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugal Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugal Kishore Jivane Marane Gati Arona Himo Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugal Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugal Kishore Shri Radhe Shyam ki jai, Shri Anurtam Das ki jai, Hare Krishna Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Wow, amazing.
Shall I read the translation?
Oh yeah,
Mm.
please.
The divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna, are my life and soul. In life or death, I have no other refuge but them. In a forest of small kadamba trees on the bank of the Yamuna, I will seat the divine couple on a throne made of brilliant jewels. I will anoint their dark and fair forms with sandalwood paste scented with shuya, and I will fan them with a chamara whisk. Oh, when we are behold their moonlight faces. After stringing together garlands of malati flowers, I will place them around their necks, and I will offer tambula scented with camphor to their lotus mouths. With the permission of all the Sakhis, headed by Lalita and Vishaka, I will serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Narottam Das, the servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, longs for this service to the divine couple. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. Beautiful.